Hello, how are you? Today we have come again to the hair, and this is Today and Now. Today and Now comes to you from Manchester City, New Hampshire. Our show, we discuss about history, events, and things that make us human. For those of you who have been watching our show, I want to say thank you. Again today, we have a new visitor to our show. Last week, if you remember, we spoke with somebody who came from Connecticut. And last week after that, we had spoken with a gentleman from Congo. We are trying to invite people from various countries, from various cities, to come and talk in our show. Today, on the show, I have invited a gentleman from New Jersey. His name is Vincent Ochumi. Vincent, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
This is Today and Now, and many of our viewers live in Manchester, New Hampshire. But we have so many people watching this show all over the world. I would like to welcome you to our show, and I would like you to tell our viewers about New Jersey, where you live. Tell us about New Jersey, what are the good things there, and how long have you been in New Jersey?
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Job, for giving me this time at least to speak to the people. And as actually said, my name is Vincent Ochumi by introduction, and I've been staying in New Jersey since 2007. And it's recently that I moved to New Hampshire, Lebanon.
Welcome to New Hampshire.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be in the state of New Jersey. I have several things that I liked about New Jersey, being one of the states in America. One of being is the job opportunities which are there. Many people have come from different places, including American born here, and be able to get more of their bills and children to school catered for, because there's a lot of opportunities. Companies are there, and the government has tried also to pump some money there to uplift the standard of those people there. So job opportunity is good. That makes people even to live good lives. It can accommodate those people that we call professional people who are professional jobs.
Yeah, you have so many professional jobs down there in New Jersey.
We have professional jobs there, and also we have these casual jobs there. So that's why I'm using the term. It can accommodate various people, depending on where you are. If you are a professional guy, it's easy to get a job there. If you are not a professional guy, then you can do some things you cannot be accommodated to.
Vincent Ochumi comes from New Jersey, and we have so many people who have moved to our state recently. I have seen people from Bhutan, I've seen people from India, I've seen people from Africa. There are so many people from Europe who live in Manchester City. And I'm encouraging each and every one of you, if you would like to, please come to our show and tell us about where you come from. We want to talk about the things that we like to do. We like to talk because this is our community, and by so doing, by sharing information, as I've always said, we make our community a better place. Welcome to New Hampshire. Mr. Ochumi, tell me, what do you do in New Hampshire now that you have moved here? What do you do here?
Professionally, I trained from back in my country, from one of the countries from Africa.
You are from Kenya?
Yeah, from Kenya. So I took my BSN, Bachelor's in Science, from the University of Ombati. And currently I'm serving as a professional registered nurse in New Hampshire. So that's where I'm working right now, working with Cedar Health Hospital, and also working also in Brookside.
Very good. So you are a nurse, and that's how you managed to get a job in New Hampshire?
Yes, yes.
Very good. There are so many of you who might have not known that you can get your bachelor's degree or your degrees from wherever you are, from whatever country, and come here to work. This is a very good example. If you go to school, if you work hard, you can get a job anywhere. You can come to America and get a job. The doors are open. Even though there's some difficulties, I know there will be a chance for you to get a job. I know, Mr. Vincent, you can speak. What are the challenges that you encountered? Because you just didn't come from Kenya straight and become a nurse. What are the challenges you went through before you get where you are right now?
In fact, one of the challenges that people face when they come to this United States or in other countries is to adjust also to get in the system that they have. For example, if somebody has started ESOL, maybe in medical field or in the educational field, those things are being legal in his country of residence where he lives. So what we get a problem when we come here is to get ourselves also being legalized, that they know you. By you coming to them telling them that I'm a nurse, I'm a doctor, I'm what, they cannot accept you until you have to do their procedures. And the procedure they have is to sit for their body exam, which they give you. Every state has rules, and every profession has their rules as there to guide you through doing their test and then giving the license. You cannot practice in any other country. Talk of Kenya, talk of Europe.
Then you come here and go straight away. Yeah. I understand it because I wanted to do law sometimes back, and I realized that if I do law in this country, when I go back home, I have to go to Kenya School of Law so that I can be able to practice law in my country. So what you're saying is perfectly making sense. And what are the things that those people, those so many of our viewers want to do? What are they going to do if they are in America now and they haven't gone to the jobs they want to do? What can you tell them to start doing so that they can get what they want?
I want to encourage people. First of all, we have this tendency of trying to be afraid to take risks. People have come here, people have just come and sat because maybe somebody tell them like it's hard to be there. I want to assure people things are not ever hard until you try them. What I want to encourage them is that for all the, for example, let me give an example of medical field. If you come here, what I want to encourage them, make phone calls, contact the boards which are relevant. Don't listen to individuals because they don't have the rules to give you. Talk to the direct board, tell them I am Ombati, trained as a lawyer. How can I get into a system? They will either tell you to do the board exam, or they will either tell you to do some classes, or they will either tell you to do some clinicals, which makes you to fit in their own situation, because we know laws in the United States are different from laws in Africa. What we practice in other countries is not what they practice.
Absolutely.
Let me give you a relevant example. When I trained from one of the African countries, I thought I would come to Kenya because I'm a citizen and start work. And that's what wasn't the case. I had to undergo the board of Kenya, despite I was
Before
a Kenyan.
you worked satisfied.
Yeah, despite I was a Kenyan. I came back, I told them I went to start to study. I'm a Kenyan, I have all my things. But they told me, you know what, you have to schedule an appointment with us. Prove to us that really you went to start for this one and you passed, so that we give you a license. And I went this one, I went for internship for 1 year to see how I do my job until they gave me a license. So these things happen everywhere. Don't fear, just go for it, and then you will get it.
You hear it from the doctor. He says there's nothing to fear until you try. Go, knock on those doors, ask them what you can do so that you get the job you do. Because I know there's so many of you out there, people who are educated. Maybe you were teachers, maybe you were professors, whatever you were in your countries. Now when you came here, you started doing something totally different. Do not be afraid. Go ask, how can you get to your field? I believe if people do the jobs that they love to do, they succeed. But if you do a job because it's a job, you will not make a lot of impact. I'm glad you did this and you went through. I want to take this opportunity to say something. This show has been watched by so many people, not only in the city of Manchester, but all over. I want to take this chance right now to say thank you to some few people. There is a lady in Uganda who just wrote an email to me. Her name is Johan Mujawimana. Johan wrote me an email and said, thank you, Job, I like your show. I want to say thank you for watching. Pius Simon, who also works in Nairobi, Prime Bank, he watched the show and they said thank you. I have friends in Minnesota who have written to me saying they have been watching my show. I have those in New Jersey. I also got an email from New Hampton in London. New Hampton, London. They said they watch our show. So I want to encourage every one of you who are able to watch our show to keep on watching. Thank you very much. We will always be on here. And if you have suggestions to say, please do so. And for those of you who live in Manchester, welcome to the show anytime. I want to ask you now about Kenyans in America. I know that there are so many Kenyans you have met. I know you are a member of the Kenya Global Unity. And today as we speak, so many Kenyan members are watching. I would like you to tell our viewers about Kenya Global Unity briefly.
Before even I talk about Kenya Global Unit, let me first of all try to congratulate all Kenyans in the diaspora, wherever they are, in America, wherever they are. Kenyans have been always hard-working people.
Very good.
They have always been people who want to do something that can help their country back at home. Look, people have stayed with Kenyans have met in North Carolina, in New Jersey, in Lebanon, including even you, Mr. Job. You know, all those Kenyans, they have big minds. People think, how can we help out? And that's the mind that we need. Kenyans came out, God gave you the opportunity that you have right now. You can make few dollars. Let's use that opportunity also to help. And that's why we sat down and we tried to talk about how can we do this, because we know an individual cannot make these things successful. I cannot just go down and say, okay, I have $20, let me do something. Unless we put this money together, put the ideas of people together, so that we can, you know, everybody thinks differently. How can we help our people back at home? We know our problems. We know our challenges that we face. That's why we reached in a conclusion that we should have an umbrella organization. People sat down and we discussed that this organization should have an title called Kenya Global Unit. An organization that stands for all people in the diaspora and also back in Kenya. So it's have members back in Africa, Kenya. We have members who, now Kenyans who reside in Tunisia, others reside in South Africa, UK, United Kingdom, United States, and we have in the United States different states covered in KGU. So that with one aim of going back home and to improve the lifestyle, not to make ourselves great, but to make the lifestyle of the people living in Kenya, including even us, be conducive for us, our kids, our old mothers, fathers, to have a better future. We know we cannot attain all, but at least we can boost the lifestyle, you know, to a better standard.
I want to say also to the Kenyans who are watching this show that one of the best things that Kenyans have done so far is to form KGU. This is an umbrella organization, as Mr. Vincent has said, which is not only going to make Kenya in the diaspora come together, we are going to have a voice in the government. And this is a good thing. Last week, the Prime Minister, Raila Odinga, came to America. He went to meet the Vice President. He was in Boston. I was so encouraged to see so many Kenyans there with the Kenyan flag. They were so proud to see him. And I'm also encouraged by the Kenyans who are in America, who are doing things like Denzel Musumba is putting people together on radio. Dr. Bonyo, Mr. Kerosi is working hard, Mr. Momani is working. Last month we had the Secretary General, Interim Secretary General, Mr. Joseph Nyaringo, also on the show. So I'm so encouraged, and that's why I'm saying to Kenyans that this is one of the best things that has happened. Now, tell us about the election which is happening in KGU.
As you know, in anything that we do in the government, we always have election, and they say election is one of the democratic ways of people trying to express their views and getting what they feel is right for them. In other terms, in leadership, you know, they want to get the best leaders ever. We know everybody's a leader, but they want to. It's what we feel for.
We can't all lead at the same time.
Yes,
You have to give
time.
Yeah.
That's why everybody says, "Why did I somebody opposing me? Does it mean that I cannot do it?" Then
You
no.
can do it, but at a different time.
Yeah, at different times. That's why I say we need them to choose. So we have an election on May 21st, we shall elect KGU officials. For one reason is that
how long are they going to be the official in their office?
They are going to serve for 2 years.
And okay, now go ahead with the reason.
So why we chose that we do election right now is that people are serving in KGU right now as leaders. It's in a basis of interim basis. So we want them to be there officially to serve us for 2 years.
Elected officials for 2 years.
Yeah, elected officials by the members to serve the KGU. And then after 2 years, we said, you know, let them account for what they have done and how far they have moved KGU and how far they have also tried to solve the problem, the challenges that people have in Kenya.
So
that's why-
Kenyan members, registered members in KGU, you are encouraged wherever you are to participate in this election which is coming in May 21st. Are you running for office, Mr. Ochumi?
Yeah, currently I was holding the position of the chief whip, deputy chief whip,
Mhm.
as an interim chief whip.
Mhm.
I've been there since the organization started.
Very good.
And I thought that being that I've been there as a founder member of KGU, and being that I have high ambitions of trying to unite Kenyans wherever they are,
Mhm.
and also try to bring other people outside, talk
Mhm.
about sponsors, talk about people from Europe, so that they can pass, because we are not talking about Kenya only to work about it. We are talking about uniting people to well back Kenya.
Very good.
So this time round, I've thought it a good idea for me, so that I can be in the position of the General Secretary. I'm running
So
for
you are
the
running for Secretary General
General
for,
Secretary.
for KGU.
Yeah.
You have heard that from Vincent Ochumi. He's not a simple man. He's a doctor. He's well educated. He's ambitious leader. He's running for office as a Secretary General for KGU. KGU members, Kenya Global Unity members, wherever you are, in America, in Europe, in Asia, in the Middle East, in Kenya, if you are a registered member, you are encouraged to participate in this coming election. By voting for officials of KGU, who are going to be in the office for 2 years, it is to say we have given you a mandate to go ahead and do the things we need you to do to make Kenyans united and have one voice to talk to the government. We want accountability, transparency, and we want to make sure that our people get jobs, they have clean drinking water, and they live in a safe environment wherever they are. And that is the goal of KGU. I'm a member of KGU, and I'm so proud to say so. Mr. Ochumi,
Yeah.
let me talk about, we have a few minutes, let's talk about election now in Kenya. We have spoken about KGU and everybody has got it. We are going to run, you are running for office, and election is May 21st. Tell me about the election in Kenya next year.
Yeah, before even I talk about election in Kenya, as you have already commented, I want to repeat a lot,
Mhm.
that I encourage all Kenyans who are there outside here listening to us, wherever they are, let us join, put hands by joining. It's just $10. Pay your $10 to the website. It's kenyaglobalunity.com. Go there to the website, register, and then you'll be one of us to participate through the improving of our Kenyan back at home, and even ourselves to improve our lives. Talking about the 2012 election, which is coming next year in Kenya, you know, sometimes, you know, the fevers in Kenya, the way we start out to campaign, you know,
Mhm.
Kenya's been in a way like campaigns which are being held is from the time we elect leaders until the time we go for elections. That's where we always have a problem, that leaders we elect in Kenya, we need them to work until even wait for the last year that they do elections. But right now, we have been having quarrels about who is going to succeed, who is going to take the government. Until now, people are being confused on what to decide on.
Very good.
I'm glad that Kenyans are trying to learn, being that we have this new constitution, that who are the right people to put into offices. So one thing they will do to implement the constitution. Because if we want to put leaders who cannot implement the new constitution we have, then it means we are going to be in the same story that we used to be back there.
So in other words, you are saying this time is better because we have more candidates coming up. Kenyans are more educated now, and Kenya's constitution is better now. So we have more opportunities to put the right people in the office.
That's what I mean, because one of the indicators that made me even feel that Kenyans are educated is that to vote for a new constitution,
It's a
which
good thing.
is from our people, their mind, a constitution that works for them. I know most of them might say just one or two things, but we all agree
But
that
that's all
things
right.
have problems.
Yeah.
But as far as we are concerned, it is going to boost Kenyans.
It is a Kenyan constitution by
But-
the Kenyans and for the Kenyans.
Yes, but it's a constitution right now in paper, written down. We need a leader. We need
To
leaders
implement it.
to make it work, to implement it. And that's the big thing about the constitution. And
Amen.
that's why we need 2012 leaders. It doesn't matter people who have been in the government or new faces who come there, but person who can work to implement and make the constitution work.
I'm never afraid of new faces. And I'm telling you, we have so many, very many capable Kenyans who are going to leave the country. The only thing Kenyans need to do is to search for them and give them the chance to rule. I wrote this, and the last week I spoke to another Kenyan, Isaac Kiniti. He's a Kenyan who came up and said, Job, I'm going to run for president. And I said, stand up and let people know you. So, do you think it's a better idea for Kenyans who have the ambitions to stand up and declare their ambitions candidacy?
Let me tell you, Mr. Job, that's even the best thing that ever Kenyan will do.
Right.
Let me tell you, if you stay in one position, going round and round and round, sometimes you'll even lose control of that thing.
Absolutely.
Because you have been there, you know. That's why even in your home, in your house, you will be there 500 or maybe 10 years. But one person can come and tell you, okay, Mr. Ombati, I thought you could have also done this and this.
Yeah.
Something that you could never done. Let us try to change. Let us try to have new people with new minds, so that we can, you know, work together to improve Kenyans. I don't oppose. I like people, and Isaac, Mr. Isaac Kiniti, I know the guy is the best guy who has ambitions for Kenya. I always talk. I know his story, as he has always fought for Kenyans when he was back at home until he moved to the United States. I'm glad that he has also, you know, the ambition of being the president over there. I'll give him good luck, and we shall support him whenever he's here, so that we have a new person there, even from the diaspora, to go, you know, run for the high offices. We don't need to run for low offices too. We need to run for high offices too. Yeah.
I want to take this opportunity also to encourage all of you, those Kenyans out there. If you have plans and ambitions to run for office, men, stand up. This is the right time. Get up and tell Kenyans, I'm here. Let Kenyans do the fair thing. You stand and let them decide. There's no problem of you standing to run for office. It's your right. Declare your candidacy. If you want to run for governor, if you want to run for senator, whatever it is, tell Kenyans, I'm here. I want your votes. Let the people decide. Kenya is not for few people. It's for everybody. As I have said again and again, leaders come and go, but our country remains forever. So let us forget about tribalism. Let's forget about these individual personalities that we have right now. Let's think beyond them. Let's think about the future. And if you have ambitions, please stand up and declare your candidacy. I'm so glad Mr. Kiniti came to my show and said that. You don't have to come to my show to say, but I want to encourage you to stand up for office. Run for election, run for the city hall, for mayor, for something. Bring the ideas you have. Let us change our community together. Let us change our country for better.